Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to build and fly the Catalyst Machineworks Merica XHD 5-inch racing frame. In terms of components, in this build and flight video, along with the Catalyst Machineworks Merica X frame and the dedicated canopy for the Cadex Vista, I'm going to use the Ziz Racing Stack, which I've recently reviewed, a set of Emax 2306 2400 kV motors, the Cadex Vista digital transmission system, and the TBS Crossfire Nano SE receiver. First things first, let's start with the frame and canopy. Along with the frame, which is available in different sizes, you are getting the middle and bottom carbon fiber plates, 4 replaceable carbon fiber arms, carbon fiber spacers, 2 supporting arms for the back and for the front sides, a battery velcro strap, and all the needed spacers and screws. As for the 3D printed TPU canopy for the Cadex Vista, which is available separately in different colors, along with the canopy, you are getting a flip stick that will help you to flip the quadcopter over using turtle mode in case of a crash, and aluminum spacers and screws that are going to help you to secure the flight controller to the canopy. Now I'm going to quickly show you how to assemble the frame, mount the motors and solder them to the 4-in-1 ESC, and then continue with the rest of this build. Once the bottom part is assembled, we need to mount the Cadex Vista and flight controller inside the 3D printed TPU canopy, which by the way supports only 30.5 by 30.5 flight controllers. And before that, I recommend to solder the Vista transmission unit and radio receiver to the flight controller. Normally I would suggest powering up the Vista or L unit using a 9V BEC, but unfortunately the Ziz flight controller doesn't have one, so I'm just going to power it up using the battery pad. And you should pay attention that the TX pad from the Vista should be wired to the RX pad on the flight controller and vice versa, as wiring it differently is a common mistake that will prevent you from getting the telemetry data, including the battery voltage of your drone, which is one of the most important values on the on-screen display of your DJI goggles. Now, using the provided aluminum hex screws, as the ones which are included with the Vista are too short, we can mount the Vista camera unit inside the canopy. And before mounting the Vista transmission unit inside the canopy, first make sure to connect the antenna, and I recommend to update it to its latest firmware and bind it with your DJI goggles. Now we can mount the Vista transmission unit inside the 3D printed TPU canopy by carefully squeezing it in, as it is held by its sides and it is not secured by any screws. You should pay attention that the USB Type-C port of the Vista should be accessible from the left side of the canopy, and pay extra attention not to damage the delicate wires of the coaxial cable. Now, using the provided Phillips screws and washers, we can mount the flight controller to the canopy, place the aluminum spacers inside their designated holes, then unscrew the 4 central 2.5mm hex screws that we used in order to secure the arms in their position, connect the 4-in-1 ESC to the flight controller, secure the 3D printed canopy to the central plate using the 4 2.5mm screws that we just removed, insert the flip stick into its position in case you would like to use it, and finally secure the Raspberry antenna to the canopy using zip ties, and I recommend to use a heat gun in order to bend it. Now, after adding a red set of Dalprop T5249 propellers in order to match the color of the canopy, the build is ready, and in my opinion this is definitely one of the most impressive 5-inch builds that I've built so far. Now, by the way, eventually I didn't use the 8-pin joystick connector of the Ziz 4-in-1 ESC, and I used the soldering pads instead because the connector was pretty loose. According to Ziz, the issue is caused by the joystick connectors that were included in the first batch of the racing combo, so in case you are having similar issues, you should talk to them, and they are going to send you replacement joystick connectors. As for the build, it weighs about 360 grams, and the all-up weight, including a CNHL 1500 mAh 4S battery, is 546 grams. In terms of flight time using this battery, you can expect between 4 to 5 minutes of semi-aggressive flight. As for this pretty interesting frame, its wheelbase is 204mm, it features a true X pattern, the thickness of each replaceable carbon fiber arm is 5mm, its width is 6.9mm, and it provides some protection for the motors. In addition, the thickness of the bottom plate is 2mm, The thickness of the central plate is 3 mm, and the thickness of the supporting arms is 4 mm. As for the canopy, except its distinct appearance, it provides plenty of protection for the Cadex Vista transmission and camera units, and my only concern about the flipstick is that it is going to probably prevent you from carrying the quadcopter inside your bag. So overall, if you are in the market for a dedicated racing frame for the Cadex Vista, the Catalyst MachineWorks Merica X is definitely something to consider. As for the Emax Pulsar motors, these are very powerful motors that will provide you with plenty of thrust, and it's also pretty cool that the LED is going to light up when they spin. However, in my opinion, it is probably better to go with their 6S variant, as the motors are going to cause less battery sag. As for the Z's resting stack, except the joystick connector which I've mentioned before, everything else went smooth. I'm going to wrap up this video with some flight footage, and as always, if you have any questions about the build process or about any of the parts that I used, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you like this video, and consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notifications bell if you're not already subscribed. See you on my next videos, and goodbye.